Today we're going to show you how to host a static website on AWS S3. Today we're going to show we're going to upload a two-page website. We have the home with just a single image. We have the about us, which is single image. So now let me show you the back end of the file folder structure. We have the index, we have the about us, we have the JS folder, we have the images, we have the CSS. So we're going to upload this to AWS S3. So let's say, for example, you have a particular client that you want to show your work to, and the person is far from you. You could just easily host it on this S3 to show them. Or let's say you want to host a full-fledged website, you can also do that. So now let us move over to AWS S3. So in case you don't have any account, you can just easily create an AWS account here. But I, for one, have an account, so I'll just click to sign in. So I put my account ID and password. Click on sign in. So to locate the S3 dashboard, you can see it's under my recent visited services. Then somebody yours is not there, and you could easily just go under services, then under storage, click on history, or you could just go to the menu to the search bar on top and just type S3 there. Then S3 comes up. So the first step that you need to do is to create a bucket. Now you can see I have some websites that I've hosted for some particular clients. So just view the bucket as, let's say, the root folder, just like the public HTML for your cPanel. So you need to create a bucket. So when you click on create bucket, now the name choice of the bucket has to be unique in all the whole of history worldwide. That means you cannot use the same name another person has chosen in his own AWS S3 bucket. And also, one thing is that if you want to link it to a particular domain name, you have to use the name, your same domain name as the name. Now let's say for example, the name of my website is mycompany.com. I need to put the bucket name as my company so that it can rhyme together. So for now, I'm just going to go to just a random name. Let me just say static hosting. Let's say it was 67. AWS region, I use the default, choose bucket. Now block public access. Now this is very, very important. You need to uncheck this, because if you check this, it's going to block public access on the bucket level. When the ISO, that's the root domain level, is going to block it. So you need to uncheck it so that for the bucket level is public. Then we need to acknowledge. Then you can leave everything by default. Click on create bucket. Alright, so it's access. Scroll down. Then you see static website hosting. You click on edit. You click on is disabled by default, so you enable it. Now you select host a static website. In this particular place, you need to put your index page, I mean your starting page that the S3 is going to look for. That's going to serve first. So that is the index page. Then you leave everything by default. Then you click on save changes. Now when that is done, then you could just, the third step is for you to upload the particular items or the files, or we call it objects in S3. So you can either click upload here or upload here. So let's say add files on static hosting. you can add the other files. You can select both. Now let's say for example I need to add the files under CSS. Normally I'm meant to create a folder structure here and add this, but that would be a very long process. So what I would also need to do is just to click on add folder, just add the whole folder, upload, accept upload, then it creates the path structure for me, then it uploads the file inside. So I do that same thing for the JS folder, upload, and for the images folder, upload. So let me just remove this is not necessary. Alright, so we leave everything as default, then you click the upload. Now usually it does not take long depending on the file size, between from some seconds to minutes. So now it has uploaded successfully, so close. So voila. So now let's go to our URL that is static hosting provided for us and try to access our website. Now this is the URL. When I click on it, ouch, 43 forbidden. Now the reason why that is because when we granted access, it was on the bucket level. That was the root domain, just like granting public access to the public HTML. But all the files inside, all the objects, all the files inside do not have public access. That means they cannot be viewed publicly. AWS blocks every access, public access, the bucket level from public access by default. So you need to enable it. So now what we need to do is now to add a permission so that we use to open all these files and every feature file that we upload into this particular folder. So that is easily done by going to under the permissions, then you go to the bucket policy, you click on edit. Now in this particular place I'm meant to write a policy, a JSON document policy that is meant to grant public access to all the items under the bucket. But I for one, like many other people, don't know how to write that by default. So AWS has provided what we call a policy generator for us to use to generate it. But first of all, I need to copy the bucket ARN of the particular bucket. Now this is just the same thing as the static hosting 67, but is a unique identifier by AWS3, so I need to copy that. So we click on the policy generator. This is just like an external service by AWS S3 to help us generate the policy. So type of policy, S3 bucket policy. The effect is to allow, you can also click on deny, that's like still like blocking all the access. Now what's the principle? The principle is that who is the person that can view this? Now we want everybody public, so we put asterisks. Now what is the action? The action is that the person should be able to get the bucket, just like read the bucket. So get the bucket. Then our here that we just copied, that's the bucket name. Then we put a / with asterisks. That means everything under the particular bucket. We're applying this permission to it. So we click on add statements. You can see principal or allow trigger objects to everything under no other condition. Click on generate policy. So our policy has been generated. So we copy. Then go back, let's close. We'll go back to the S3 and just simple paste. Once we paste, we save the changes. So now it's saying that we are publicly accessible. Now if you go back to where it's saying forbidden, 43 forbidden, we refresh, and voila, we have our website live. So this is the URL, you can easily copy it and share it. Now let's say for example you're done sharing and you just want to remove is very, very simple. Just go back to the bucket level, click on the bucket level. Normally, if you try to delete directly, it will not allow you to delete because the bucket is not empty. It has some items. So you first need to delete the items under the bucket. So let us go back. Let me go back to the source. Normally, you can click inside here and delete all the items one by one. But a simpler and faster way is just to click this and just click on empty. When you say empty, so you just type it has already emptied. So you need to confirm permanently delete. Empty. So now you can now delete the bucket. You now type static, the name of the bucket. Now to confirm. All right, so that's that. Thank you.